Hey everybody, how's everything going? I'm glad that you are taking the time to join me. I hope your weekend is going well and all is good. You're having a good time and relaxing. So, I've just figured it's a long weekend. I figured I'd drop a few more lines and have a free night. So, anyway, let's get started. Again, if you would like to hit the subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy the story. Okay, so we left off where Alan had left for basic training, and he had made it to Texas, and he was trying to get settled in, and so we'll pick up from there. And so my journey began. Training was hard and challenging, and kind of funny at the end of the day when it was over. The guys and I would sit back and laugh at some of the stupid things we had done all day, or answer letters from loved ones. I got quite a bit of mail from my family. My parents didn't really write me, they just added whatever they wanted to say to the letters from the rest of the family. I talked to them when I got to call home. As the weeks went by, I realized I may have changed some. I seemed so serious or stern at times. I guess they called it being a soldier. Some called it learning to be a killing machine. As for me, I called it doing what it takes to survive. This week, I was on leave. I was spending time with coffee and cream in Waco. Just a quiet weekend. Okay, well, maybe a little clubbing on Friday. Then it was romance for the rest of the time. About 2 more weeks would pass before I was shipped off. Until then, I planned to spend every free minute with Trina. Finally, another chance to see Coffee and Cream and to explore some of the area. A group of us went to San Antonio. This place was beautiful with history. Trina knew lots of nice spots, so we went wherever she recommended. First, we went to a Mexican spot for dinner, and then to some little club for a drink and a dance. After a little dancing, our group began to break up, going off to do their own thing. Remember, I mentioned romance. That was the previous weekend. Well, this night would be a repeat performance. After dinner and dancing, we got a nice little room, some drinks to take back to our room. Trina didn't drink, so we got her some sodas also. She went in the bathroom to freshen herself up. She was fresh enough for me, but when she came out, she had on this sexy two-piece set. It was burgundy colored, trimmed in lace. I emphasize she made it look good. I couldn't wait for her to get to the bed where I was waiting, so I got up and went to her standing at the bathroom door. First, I kissed her on her collarbone, not her breast, just the collarbone as a tease, then her chest, then down to her breast. I kissed her arms, her neck, and finally her lips. Her legs were smooth. They looked like she had on stockings. I escorted her to the bed and we sat on the side while I poured a drink of our choice. Then I leaned her back and ran my hands up and down her legs, across her hips, stomach, breast, then back down and stopped when I reached her warmest spot. Man, I was so excited I could have burst, but somehow I held myself together and tried to be cool. I'll let your imagination fill in the rest of what happened. I don't kiss and tell. I spent more time with Trina again before I left Texas, and we talked often. Now the shit was getting thick. We're going to the real deal. One of the dudes traveling was all teared up because he's hoping he makes it back to his wife and baby. For the most part, the flight was pretty quiet, just waiting for whatever is coming next, praying to make it, praying to make it out of this shit alive and sane. And if by chance I'm to die, just let it be quick so I don't know what happened. Where my group ended up being stationed wasn't as bad as we expected. We weren't really in a combat zone. The native people there treated us pretty decent. It had been about 3 weeks since I gotten here, and I had just gotten letters from Trina and from home since I had arrived. Things at home were fine. Everybody's hanging in there. Trina was telling me she's pregnant. Yeah, she's pregnant. When I wrote back, I asked her, what does she want to do? Get married or have an abortion? I then told her how much I truly didn't want her to have an abortion, and if it was up to me, we'd get married. But I leave it up to her, for her to let me know what she wanted to do, and if she would be getting out of the army. I also let them know back home she was pregnant, and if we had to, could she come to live with them until I get home? My family said yes to my asking if she could come and live with them until I got home. To be honest, I knew they would say yes. Trina responded to my letter saying yes. She'd finished her time and is getting out of the army, and no, she wasn't having an abortion. The marriage part she left me hanging on. So I then wrote and told her my family was waiting for her to come live with them until I got home. I also told her that by the time she received this letter, I will have spoken with her. We wrote each other back and forth for a few weeks before I was able to call the States to speak with everyone. I called home first to talk with my parents to update them on all that was happening. They were happy for Trina to come and live with them. They they'd take good care of her and our baby until I arrived home. Then I called to speak with my sweetheart. This was something we needed to discuss, not write each other about. She was happy to go to my parents' house, so this would make things easier for us. I felt if she had gone home to her family, she and people would doubt my feelings for her, and I didn't want that. So Junie, Alan talked to us and Trina about Trina, that she would be arriving in 2 weeks. The next day, Trina called and told us she'd see us in a few weeks. It was a Thursday evening when Trina arrived by train, but she didn't call to have anybody pick her up from the train station. She took a cab to the house. Trina said there was too much snow to have someone come pick her up. When she got inside, we realized how big she was. By that I mean she was carrying a lot of baby in that belly. Mom and myself went outside to get our things from the cab. The cab driver started telling us Trina had fallen off the train. Trina said she hadn't gotten hurt and that she was okay. Taz was checking her out big time. Like, so she's going to be here waiting for my brother? I hope she's not going to be a pest. Trina wasn't a pest, though. She was a very nice girl, smart, pretty, and helpful around the house. She even got Taz to clean under her bed by telling her if she didn't clean under her bed, those dust balls under there would turn into people, bad people. I had never seen a little girl clean with such determination in my life. Trina blended right in with the family. Some people actually thought she resembled my mom. They had green hazel eyes and was about the same complexion. One day Trina was making a strawberry shortcake. Taz told her, "Oh, I don't like strawberries." "Have you ever tasted them before?" Trina asked. "No." "How can you not like something you've never even tried before?" While handing Taz a strawberry. "How's that?" Trina asked. Taz said back, "Well, that was good. See? Thought you'd like it. Have another one. Then Then get the sugar so we can sweeten them just right for dessert tonight. Taz fell right in with her. They shared the bedroom my brother and I used to share. I moved into the bedroom that was once Marie's. Well, yes, the holiday season had arrived. I love this time of year, although I thrive on the beach and the ocean. Anyway, it was a week before Christmas when my brother Alan came home. Man, we celebrated, just the two of us, then with the family, but the whole time the wedding was also being planned for Trina and Alan. Now just picture this. It's Christmas Eve night and it's snowing. We already had a few inches on the ground. That night in the church, it was a little dim, with candle lights that lit all along the window panes. The family, Mom, Dad, Taz, Marie, Mike, Grandpa, and Aunt Kate, and I were already in the church that me and my siblings grew up in. As Alan and Trina were saying their vows, Alan was nervous, and when it was time for him to repeat after the preacher, he started laughing and laughing and laughing and trying to repeat after the preacher and laughing. I was standing next to him, and I knew he was laughing because he was so nervous. So I kept telling him to come on, stop all this laughing. Meanwhile, poor Trina was looking at him like, what in the hell is wrong? Is this a damn joke? Finally, he got the words out. Even with all his laughter, it was still a beautiful occasion. Afterwards, we were getting back in our cars. Snow began falling so hard we could barely see in front of us. But through all the blowing snowflakes falling from the night sky, we made it back to my parents' house, where we had a small reception, with a wedding cake big enough for 30 people. Damn, 2 married. Will I be next? I'm in no hurry for that. I gots to be sure, or at least think I'm really, really sure. And I was going to keep it short tonight, but I thank you guys for joining in. I hope you are, again, enjoying your weekend. I hope you hit the subscribe button, and I hope you really enjoyed. And again, I thank you. Stay out of trouble. If not, like I said before, don't get caught. And enjoy your weekend. Peace.